came up in the last couple of days, just to kind of get us started.
Well, there you
This
have it.
one kind of has to deal with
That's how it all got started
the
back in the fall of 2018. Had this idea to be online, to answer people's questions, and called it the Friday Night Q&A. But it wasn't ready. God had other plans. That was me getting ahead of God. God wanted me to be at the table. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me tonight for the blooper and outtake special edition of At the Table. Well, it has been an eventful night. This is our blooper video, right? Well, you want to hear something really ironic? I just spent the last half hour recording the entire thing. Microphone wasn't turned on. You couldn't hear a single word. We've had that problem a couple of times this year, too. And you'll see some of those videos. But before we go there, I just want to say thank you, all of you who watch this, because you're part of the reason I do it. The better part of the reason I do it is for God, for the glory of God in heaven. But I do this for you too, for your entertainment, for your edification, for teaching, for building all of you up, people who we call the church. Because you are the reason. God loves each and every single one of you so much. And he's given me the gift to teach, to preach, to do so many different things. And I want to use those gifts that he's given me in this way for all of you. Now, when I first started out, that's not what it was all about, I have to admit. There was a little bit of glory seeking for myself. And then God said to me one day, Phil, what are you doing? You're not doing this for you. I gave you this idea for me, not for you, for my people. Not for you. Quickly knocked me back down, and things changed for me after that. I was getting to the point where I was counting how many people were watching live, how many views we had after. Then later found out that Facebook views, if someone watches it for 3 seconds, it counts as a view. So those 750 views I had that one time, could have been 700 people who watched it for 3 seconds as they're scrolling through. Doesn't mean that 750 people watched this video. But anyway, come a long way since then. But tonight, I want to take you through the bloopers and outtakes, one by one as I show them to you. And certainly want you to have fun, want you to enjoy yourself. I'm sure that there's many that are going to make you laugh. Some of you are going to say, really, Phil? What was that all about? But it's for entertainment. It's to see how far we've come. And I mean, we've come a long way. And I'm not saying that to boast, but here, let's watch this first video and you'll see exactly what I mean. This first video is the very first night setup. I can't stop laughing just thinking about it. Me testing out the sound, testing out the cameras, but here, let's let the video speak for itself. I need to record this to make sure that I'm actually looking straight at the camera. Make sure my hand positions are okay. Make sure everything's okay. And then when I switch to... Gotta make sure I'm on that so then I can go like this and start talking. I can go like that and start talking again. Then I can go like this and start talking. And I can go like that and start talking like this. And then like that. And it should be a pretty seamless little movement there. And then, of course, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to do the scripture. And I'm going to, better work on that one. So in the beginning, it was a live stream. That's what I started. You watched the beginning of this show when you saw me last year around this time doing the Friday night Q&A, but I knew that God wanted me to be at the table. But anyway, the first few nights that we did this, it was a live stream. And let me tell you, that is sometimes very difficult. And I've gained so much confidence since then. Do you know how difficult it is to talk to yourself in front of a camera? There's nobody in the audience. I'm not filming this in front of a live studio audience. It's me in an empty room. But God has given me the strength and courage to do this in front of nobody. But really, I'm in front of all of you. But anyway, you can tell a progression from the first couple of nights. You know, that first interview when I interviewed somebody, I interviewed Kenny Hess, I sat there and I said, well, let's see how it goes. And, to ask you and to answer for everybody, and we'll just see how the things go. Right. So, really, Phil? But anyway, and you can see from my setup how incredibly stoic I was to go here, and I'll go here, and I'll talk. Come a long way. But anyway, some of the things that made it possible to have this video is the fact that I stopped doing a live stream. Stopped doing a live stream for two reasons. One, it was kind of difficult to be here every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. I had some things going on Wednesdays that I needed to be at, and I didn't want to cancel the show. So I just pre-recorded it. Once I found out I could stream it live on Facebook, pre-recorded. Secondly, choir practice was here. And, I really like this background. I really like where I'm sitting. So no offense to the choir at all, but, it made me want to do recordings. And then that made it possible to have these outtakes. But anyway, here's a couple of outtakes I wanted to show you just from the early days when I realized that, hey, I'm not recording this live. I can make mistakes. So here we go. If you don't watch football, then Antonio Brown is a football player that, daggone it, that cord is hanging off right there. I don't like that. I'm going to move the microphone a little closer too. First of all, we are starting up our Bible study again at First United Methodist Church. It will begin Thursday, September 26th, 25th, whatever that Thursday is that week. The 26th, definitely. And I'm going to start this over because that was awful. I did not even touch it. That was too quick. Unbelievable. My goodness, would you look at how crooked that table is. I think I better fix that camera. This next set is just a couple of funny bloopers that I thought were pretty funny. I can't remember exactly what show any of these went with. I guess you could go back and look at what shirt I was wearing and compare it to the night of the show. But anyway, here's just a couple of bloopers for you to look at. Never saw a single woman in this world that looked exactly like a Barbie doll. No, I mean, women's legs just aren't that long, okay? Just not that long. So don't try to be like someone else. Be happy with who you are. I did a sermon on this one time and cut. I'm just not happy with this, but it's okay. This is a good one for the bloopers. Also, wanted to let you know that we will be doing these broadcasts live streaming on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. However, they might be pre-recorded. We're not going to change the date and time. It's something that everybody knows, but more than likely, excuse me, they're going to be pre-recorded so that not only will my guests not have to be here at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, but also that we can have things like this happen where I forget what I want to say and I have to start over. There was one night I was going to have Ian come in and interview him. I believe it was a Monday night. We were going to record it. And he had a meeting with someone from the church about something that was going on. And while they're talking, I'm sitting here getting ready and just kind of having fun before it began. So these bloopers, they were staged, but they're still kind of funny. So here you go. Good evening. Thanks for joining me Where are we again? Oh, at the table. Good evening. Thanks for joining me at the table. Joining me tonight is. Oh, no. Now what am I going to do?
So,
That's pretty good.
do we number or do we do this
Okay.
as? See, I think we're kind of at the.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining me at the table. Tonight, we have a special guest, Pastor Ian Thornton, pastor at Valera First United Methodist Church. This is, doing this recorded, I started using this software, OBS Studio, right around the same time I started this show. I talked to a friend at work who used this, and he did live videos, and he had like pictures, and he had ticker tapes, and he had himself, and it was just really neat. And I said, what do you use? And he told me OBS Studio. I never used it before, so I had to learn it as I went along, which would account for some of these outtakes. Don't adjust your sound. These are outtakes, but especially when I realize what was happening, you'll see. Here we go. I think one of the best shows that I did was with the kids. Really enjoyed talking to the three of them. We will probably do it again in season 2. But this show, I showed them a little bit of the setup beforehand because I had a computer sitting here, and I didn't want one of the kids to say, wait, why is it that I'm talking, but I'm seeing myself sitting there straight? Because it's a tape delay. They were seeing the tape delay or the stream delay, I guess it is, on Facebook. So I was explaining that to them, and then in the show, one of them, I can't remember what exactly they asked me, but it prompted me to reach for this Bible that we have up here for kids. And so I stood up and walked over there. Well, you'll see what happens. So,
Started now?
no, we haven't started.
Okay. What is wrong
I will
with
let you know when we start, okay? All right, okay, we're going to be doing this. This is just a test, okay? So you guys look on here. In a minute when I start this, you'll see yourself on here.
Oh, yeah. That's great. Wait, isn't there a white background? No.
Oh, it is not showing up.
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
Why do we have animals?
Why do we have animals? Okay, because you know what? I'm going to show you guys something.
Oh, you dropped it.
The microphone!
Oh, I knocked the microphone down.
Yes!
Because the cord.
One thing about where I'm sitting is I'm on the middle floor of the church. There's the basement, there's the middle floor, and then there's second floor. Some people call it third floor. But on this floor, to our fellowship hall, there's a door that bangs very loudly when it shuts. It's gotten to the point where I have actually used the other door because it's so loud when you go through it. But sitting here one night, trying to record on a Monday night when they have Monday meals, and somebody goes through that door, and here's my reaction. Everyone else just keep praying, keep asking God to restore, and watch what he does. It's amazing what's going to happen in this town. Well, one thing about doing this is when you are recording it, not live, when you're live, if you make a mistake, you got to go with it. We'll get to that in a moment. But when you are recording this, you can stop and you can say, no, I don't like that. Probably more times than what I've put on this video tonight, I have been sitting there talking and just fumbling over my words or forgot what I was going to say. But anyway, here you go. But he's going to make a turnaround regardless. Stop. Got to gather my thoughts to just enjoy the summer a little bit by myself. So stop, cut, place. God's going to make a difference. My phone is sitting on the table. I can't. The number of people who live here who are still. Why do I do? If you were to watch At the Table on YouTube, or I guess even on Facebook, on a large television, it would look blurry. Now, you have it on a cell phone, you look at it and say, hey, Phil looks great. Yeah, the video quality's good. Well, there's something about this software that I didn't realize. Let me try to explain what it is. When you first start and hook up a camera, let's say this is the screen. This little area right here by the table and where my fingers are, I'm drawing a screen. And up in the top corner, just a little tiny thing up there, is where the camera is. And, of course, not knowing the software, I just simply click and drag and reach it out so it fills up the entire screen. It alters the resolution a little bit, and it looks fine on a cell phone. Looks terrible on a television. Just a couple days before I recorded this video, I found out how to change that. So tonight, what you're seeing me right here, right now, is probably the best quality that you've seen all season long. Because I finally... You would think that I'm a computer guy would figure this out before I started. No, I do the whole season. The season 1 was a learning experience. Anyway, hopefully what you see tonight, high definition, good quality, make me feel like I did a good job at buying this camera that I spent $60 on. It might be worth it now. Rather than the poor quality and I say, well, I guess that's just all we're going to get. So not only that, Ian's sermons are going to get better too when I make some adjustments on the software. But anyway, it was a learning experience this entire season. So I asked for suggestions from all of you. And one time I did get a suggestion. So this intro that you're about to see, this isn't really a blooper or an outtake. This is a new intro. It was a proposed intro. Someone said, you need this kind of music for your intro. So, Chad McLeish, this one's for you.
Build it up, tear it down.
But we're not going to use that as the intro going forward. That song is a song by a group known as Disciple. It's called Regime Change. It's the opening of that song. They are a Christian heavy metal band. Very good, too. But anyway, that song's from like 2006 called Regime Change. I can't say that very well. But sorry, Chad, I'm going to stick with the Shout to the Lord or the Wonderful Words of Life or just piano entries like that, like I've been using. At least that's my thought right now. Okay, so there was one night where I didn't know the camera was running and I was practicing with the sound. I was trying to tweak the sound a little bit and I'm kind of hunched over here. And anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about on that clip. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me at the table. And this next clip is just outtakes in general. Nothing that I can really say about them at all other than just some general outtakes. So here you go. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I hit the wrong. sound check. We're not really going to do anything, just
Okay.
to see how everything sounds. So just talk a little bit and.
Okay. Well, it was a long sleep I had last night.
Okay.
Man, about 18 hours.
Oh wow.
Okay. We got a few minutes.
Yeah, we do. Let's make another adjustment to the camera. I think I went. Camera's not working. Okay. I've gotten interrupted so many times tonight. I'm just ready to give up, but I'm not. And who could forget my very first interview of someone at the table, sitting right here? Kenny Hess from Brooks Run United Methodist Church came to visit me, and I pre-recorded it. I believe it was on a Friday night in May, very early on, when I finally realized with this new software that I could record and then stream that as part of my live stream. So remember all those times I said, thank goodness I started recording them, or we wouldn't have this blooper video for one thing. But it also avoided situations like this. Pre-recorded video, come in on a Wednesday night, streaming live, explaining the video, who you're going to see. All I have to do is let the thing play. Just let it play. Keep my hands off the computer. Well, here you go.
I was at work, and I used to ask the Lord to get me through one day without cussing.
Okay. Okay, well, we have tonight joining us at the table Kenny Hess. Kenny. By far my favorite blooper of the entire season. There was many good ones, but that one by far was my favorite. I learned a lot from that one. There's actually a button on this software. When you click this button, you can stream and have it be, what you're doing, and you can work on the rest of the computer, and it won't affect it. But I didn't know that night, and I still remember how I felt. Let me explain what I did that night. I'm sitting there, and the video is recording, and I can't hear it. When you're replaying a stream, you can't hear the audio. Okay, you can see it, but you can't hear it. So I'm sitting here, and I'm getting ready. I think I was getting ready for what I was going to show next, and all of a sudden, I see myself pop up on the screen, and that's when I went. But I'm sitting there, I'm going, oh my gosh, I ruined this entire show. This whole thing is over. I was panicking. I was full of anxiety in that moment. And God spoke to me, calmed me down, says, Phil, just tell him that the video is going to restart. So, okay, yeah, I get on Facebook and I say, hey, sorry everybody, the video is going to restart. You guys were great about it. I don't think I got a single comment about the whole thing. I don't even know if, surely you realize, who could not see me sitting there going, But no, seriously, it was a lot of fun. And I'm glad I was part of this. It made season 1 what it was. Because honestly, season 1 was a growing time. It was a beginning. It was seeing where God's going to take us in the future. All of us. So it was get your feet wet. Telling the priests to go out into the Jordan River, get your feet wet, and when the feet get wet, the river's going to stop. It was a get your feet wet type of moment. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that was from the Bible, did you? Get your feet wet is from the Bible, from the book of Joshua. But anyway, it was a learning experience for me. It was a time of growth for me, and hopefully for all of you. I got a couple of specials coming up. I'm going to do a Thanksgiving special, at least 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 Christmas specials. I'm going to take care of things through the end of the year. Then January 8th, Wednesday, January 8th, 7 p.m., we will begin season 2. I got to tell you, I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know where it'll be. If it'll be here, if it'll be back up front of the sanctuary, I don't know yet. I don't know if I'll have a guest, if it'll be by myself. I don't know what the format will be. Because if you look back at how we did this, it was questions and answers. And then the questions stopped coming in, and then started interviewing people. And man, the Greg Fair interview was just phenomenal. And from that, I said, I really want to interview more people. Had Ian on several times, might have him on quite a bit more. People seem to like when we bounce ideas off one another. We do seem to do well together. I don't know what to expect yet, but I do know this. It's going to be whatever God tells me to do, because I'm in this for him and for you, not for myself. I say that with confidence and belief now, though in the beginning I was a little bit in for myself. That is completely gone. God has taken care of that. And folks, I hope you've enjoyed this night. I hope you have enjoyed this season. And I got to tell you, again, I'll be back in a week or two for Thanksgiving special, but when I come back for season 2, look out. It's in January. God is preparing things in November and December. We're going to see some amazing things begin in January, and you can take that to the bank, okay? God's going to do it. I don't know what it is, but just be ready for anything. Expect the unexpected. God's on the move, and he's pouring out his spirit on people, and it's going to be a pretty amazing time. So I'm really looking forward to season 2. Thank you for coming tonight, and with that, I say Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'll see you next year at the table. Thanks for joining me at the table. This is just a test. This is only a test. Had this been a real broadcast, you would have been filled with information from the Holy Spirit of God. But this is just a test. So, it's just a test, so you can go now.